Here.
Amy Bentham.
Here.
Nancy Hopper.
Present.
Katie Jess.
Here.
John Cuddy.
Here.
Mindy Smith. Here. Sarah Whitney. Here.
This time we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Review the agenda. Pleasure, please, report.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sarah Whitney.
Not a problem.
Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham.
Aye.
Nancy Hopper.
Aye.
Katie Jess. Aye. John Cuddy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Aye. Sarah Whitney. Aye.
Moving on to the agenda, 2A, special presentations. We have the dual immersion program, the language program. What would you like to introduce?
Tonight I would like to, first of all, welcome everybody here. It's so great to see all of you come out. I know it's might be getting a little bit late for some of these kiddos, so we'll get you guys going first. And I'd like to introduce Sherman Primary, and I want to let language program that is now going to be next year in all levels of our school district, and we're just really pleased of this, and we have a lot to be proud of here in Fort Morgan. I'm here with this dual language program, and I can tell you the first time I saw one of the students just switch from English to Spanish, I was just in awe of what they can do, and I truly believe that being a superpower. So, Tara, I can turn it over to you.
I'm Tara Boyer, and I am the principal at Sherman Early Childhood Center. This is the second year that we've had dual language immersion in. We shifted, the district shifted the entry point for dual language immersion down to kindergarten from first grade. So this is our second year. This year, we're proud to have not quite 50%, but almost 50%, and next year we'll be even closer to that 50%, meaning 50% with their native language in Spanish and 50% native language in English. And so we just have a special presentation because that's what kindergartners are best, and they're. Anyway, they would just like to present, and then following their presentation, Simone Garvin from Columbine will be up next. Oh, I'm sorry, Simone Crew. Sorry.
And while they're getting up here and getting all ready, I just want the little ones to know how wonderful it is to hear them say the Pledge of Allegiance. That was awesome.
All right, we're going to start with a poem. It's called Up Bright and Early.
And early, rushing about, out of the half of the water fast, school,
Our next one is called The Cat in the Hat.
Our next song is called Skid on Marie. Nuestra más siguiente canción es Skid on Marie. Please, close. Please. Last one for you is how do you say goodbye?
Well, thank you, families, for sharing your precious treasures with us. It just warms our hearts. Thank you so much. You guys, do you know what this means? Ready? Look at me. Ready? What does this mean?
Heart, and what does this mean? Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Ready? High, high, high. Reach clear across to the other side. Give yourself a pat on the back because you guys are awesome. Muchas gracias, padres de familia, por
nearly as entertaining, so sorry. But this is Dual Language at Columbine. So I have a little quote in here. From Charlemagne, to have another language is to possess a second soul, which we think kind of embodies how we like just really try to embrace like two different cultures, two different languages. What I'm going to present to you before these two speak is just a little bit of data. So we expanded our AVIT testing. Last year I presented just on the 5th grade. So it's speaking, listening, reading, and writing in Spanish, except for at 1st grade, they only do listening and speaking. And then I have like a chart that shows like how far, wait, back it up. Oh. That shows how far along they're supposed to be for each grade level. So in 1st grade, so we only did 1st, 3rd, and 5th this year, as opposed to just 5th grade in the previous years. So when we tested 1st grade, they scored a 3.2 in listening and a 2.3 in speaking. And if you look at the bottom, we had some technical difficulties. So anybody that's scoring a 0 or the bottom 3 messed up their test and had to start over. So it's like counting negative in the averages. So the averages are a little bit higher than they're showing up there, especially in 3rd grade. But we tried. So now if we go to the next slide. So the 1st graders are where they're supposed to be. So they're scoring at novice high in listening and novice mid in speaking, which is where they're supposed to be. ACTFL is the American Council of Teaching a Foreign Language, and they have compiled this for dual language immersion programs. And they assume that the program is beginning in kindergarten, so our kids in 1st grade are where they're supposed to be. In 2nd grade, or 3rd grade, sorry, you can see the reading, writing, listening, and the speaking, and then the composite score. And you can see on all of them, there's like way more. We had some real technical difficulties getting this going. We kept starting the speaking test and then clicking out of it and then making a new profile and then clicking out of it again. So we had a lot of zeros. But even with that, if you'll go to the next slide, they're scoring basically at a 2nd grade level, except for the writing is a little bit lower. The 1st grade group is the 1st group that had kindergarten dual, so we think like they're still catching up. It's kind of appropriate for them to be a grade behind because they had a year less of instruction, and also they had a lot of zeros. And then here's our 5th grade, reading, writing, listening, and speaking in the composite, and this group just had a couple technical difficulties, not as bad. So this is way more accurate. So if you look at this, they're scoring basically at a 4th grade level, again, except for writing. So this is where we are. Pretty proud of our kids. We think they're doing really well. And I have Leo Marquez and Ava Gonzalez. Ava's in 4th grade, and she started dual language in her 2nd grade year, and Leo's in 5th grade, and he began dual language in his 1st grade year, and they're going to talk to you about what they like about being dual. Ava, you want to go first?
Me llamo Leo Márquez, soy en 5º grado, soy estudiante de línea. Me gusta aprender idiomas porque puedo comunicarme con los nuevos estudiantes y solo hablar en español. Hello, my name is Leo Márquez. I'm in 5th grade. I'm a dual language student at Columbine Elementary School. I enjoy learning Spanish
Well, before he gets up, you did great, guys.
So hello, I'm Chad Unrun. I'm the middle school principal. I didn't bring any kids today. You can check them out tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Oh, hey, how are you? Good, come on up.
It's extra points tomorrow, you know that, don't you?
I'm Keely Davenport. Soy Keely Davenport.
No, okay, well, I kind of got caught up on Friday. What I did is, tomorrow night they have their dual immersion night. Want to talk about that? Someone what the dual immersion night looks like.
So tomorrow we're having an awards night called Noche de Estrellas at the high school. Mañana Noche de awards.
Awards. I can't help you. Out of the Stars Awards night, right? And so it's quite the presentation our dual immersion teachers put on last year. They had it at the middle school and the sheer numbers and stuff. We decided to do it at the high school in the auditorium. And so 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and they'll have a show for you. Okay? But one of the questions that I think you guys get is, at what cost does the dual immersion program cost the district, right? Whether it's taxing on teachers, what's it costing our kids, you know? For example, the middle school, they miss out on they get 100 minutes of, 50 minutes of English, literacy and language arts time, and Spanish, 50 minutes of Spanish, literacy and language arts time, where our typical track student gets 100 minutes, but 50 minutes of that is in literacy, and 50 minutes of that's in language arts. And so what's that doing to those students that are coming through this program? Are they falling behind? And really, when you talk to like the experts about it, they say you shouldn't even compare results until the 8th grade year. Well, guess what? We're there, right? We're there. And so 8 years ago, 50 brave children and parents set on this adventure to say, hey, we're gonna try this program that was brand new. And so what has happened since then? And so all of our students in middle school, they take the NWEA, which is a nationally normed test that's taken across the country in different states and things like that. And they take it in science, reading, language use, and math. So we collect data each year, 3 times a year, a fall, a winter, a spring, and then we compare that data. And so looking at the data and stuff, if you would, I shared with you guys some results and stuff. If you look at that, our DLI students are keeping pace or outpacing our traditional track students. Again, it's a smaller cohort, and so certain numbers can be skewed a little bit easier. But you're seeing that they are keeping pace with our other 8th grade students. And you'll see that in the 7th grade and the 6th grade level also. Even if you pull out subgroups of like our honors kids that are in 8th grade taking algebra, how are our dual language students that started their math career in Spanish comparing to their peers that are algebra students? And what you'll see is, I think like we were at the 56th percentile with our dual and like the 54th with our normal algebra kids. And so very, very comparable. When you look across the nation, again, all those results are percentiles. And so like 50 percentile is average, right? Anything above it, you're doing better. Anything below, you're slightly behind. And so as you look, these are all achievement scores from the NWEA. Most of the time we use the growth out of that test, but this here, what you're looking at is achievement data. Also, if you look at the advanced or the Avant test that our students took, we took in 6th and 8th grade, so elementaries did it every odd year. We decided to do it in 6th and 8th as they enter middle school after 1 year and as they're getting ready to exit middle school. And you'll see that they're pacing right on pace where they're supposed to be. We kind of adopted the Utah model many years ago, and so on the back of it, you see that there's proficiency ratings and stuff, that our students are right on pace with what they're supposed to be. Anything that is highlighted on there is ones that they are right where they're supposed to be, and then there's a couple that they're just below where we'd like them to be. Again, the speaking piece is tricky. I know when I record my voicemail message, I have to delete it like 10 times before I get it right. And these students have to sit down with the screen and basically talk to themselves out loud and to be graded on where they're at. And so it's kind of a challenge. But but they are right on pace where we would like them to be. Also, with the Avant test, they do like certifications and stuff. So like any area that a kid makes a 5 is called functional fluency, meaning that they can get by in basically everyday language and be able to survive, you know, if they were out in a foreign country where Spanish is being spoken, they'd be able to function there just fine. And so that's kind of that mid-range, intermediate, mid score. As you move up and you get a little bit higher, it goes into the advanced low. That's working fluency, so being able to work a job that the primary language would be Spanish, and being able to function in that. And then at the very top of the list is the professional fluency, and that's being able to go in and basically rewrite very few grammar errors, very technical language and stuff like that in jobs, being like a lawyer or a scientist or things like that, that they'd be able to function in that. And so our goal was to basically get them at that intermediate mid, that intermediate high, and our kids are right there. And that's our pioneer group, right? The first ones that have gone through it. And so kudos to all the elementary school teachers that have put tons of time in, the district, the board for taking a chance on the program, because I think you're seeing the results of some really good things happening in our district. And so, super proud of these kids. Okay, any questions for me?
Well, I thought you were gonna do a dance, that's what you told me when you first started.
You know, you guys remember Capturing Kids' Hearts? They say never lead like with the best thing right out the gate. Yeah, we screwed that one up today. 6 o'clock?
Sounds awesome, thank you all, again, thank you parents, thank you staff. We are so fortunate to be in Fort Morgan, fortunate to have great educators, fortunate to have wonderful kids, thank you. To be for our special presentations, we have the K-8 here to present for us today. Thank you.
You guys are more than welcome to stay, but you can go also. Like,
I don't know why they would not want to stay. Try to just don't have confidence while we get ready.
Well, let me see what I can do.
I was gonna say that Audra and Christy were gonna do a song.
Oh, Lord, too.
No.
So typically we come before you and give different presentations, and this year we thought we would really focus on our career event that just took place in April. And with that, sharing a little bit about the fact that what we work on as counselors, we have different standards for students, and so this is sort of the overarching mindsets and behaviors for student success. It's a mouthful, it's not very brief. This explains that, and then also, these are the specific standards that we, and the mindset standards and the behavior standards that we focus on when we're working on career exploration. And so I won't read those to you, you can read those for yourself, but really looking at that, and then at elementary, we focus on those by doing experiential type things. So with kindergarten, the two on the left side, they get to do career crowns and color those. And then they also get to have career outfits, vests, that type of thing they get to put on. And then we have some career bingo, some different exploration. And with fifth grade, it's a little different where they get to go onto a website, research some different careers, and then fill out some information about those careers as far as how much the career makes, what type of education you need, just some very basic things. Also with fourth grade, we do some mock interviews and what that looks like and what filling out a job application looks like, even though it's very developmentally appropriate and the type of things that they fill out. On the 24th, we were excited to add middle school this year, and so it was K-8 and we had it at the middle school, and we were planning on doing it outside, and then the weather was a little iffy, and so we did it inside, and actually some of the feedback that we got, people really enjoyed it. And I have lots of pictures showing how incredibly busy and well attended it was. We had 24 community partners there, but we checked in right by the doors. We developed a online check-in system with Chromebooks there, and so families came in, and it was very busy, but it actually went pretty smoothly because you guys had how many Chromebooks? Like
10.
it seemed like a lot. There was a lot, and so there were lines with families, and they were just continually checking in with checking the kids from the different schools, and then the different tables. They had a lot of different activities. They also, the community members that came had so many different things for their kids to do. It was so great. And you know, the thing that's really cool, for example, we had some realtors there that have been there every single year, and so many kids don't even know what that job is. And so, shocked at what it is, and then on the other hand, the realtors are excited to be able to tell the kids what kind of job they do and that type of. We had a food truck there, and it's hard to plan when you don't know how many people are coming. And so they planned high, and they still ran out of food, but it was still an exciting event, and a lot of people still got to eat there. Leprino was a huge hit. You'll see them in that top left corner there. They had little hard hats for kids. They had cheese for the kids. They brought like 5 or 6 people. They were so engaging with all the kids of all ages. So many different people were there. It was just phenomenal for our kids to experience. Our different schools then purchased some different prizes, and so when they filled out their, you're gonna get a handout here in just a second, had a bingo card that the kids got when they checked in, and so as they signed off on the bingo cards, if they turned those in, then they got to put their name in for a drawings, and had tons of prizes from the different schools that they were able to experience. Being good people in collecting data, we asked the people that were there what it looked like for them as a community member. And so the ones that answered for me either said most of the time or completely agree or mostly agree that it was a beneficial use of their time, as well as they were able to visit with a lot of students in different ages. And so some anecdotal feedback that they gave us, that they enjoyed having it inside. They thought the turnout was great. The amount of different careers showcased, it was great. I mean, like, each year it gets better, but this year it was like so amazing. And the one thing they did like is that we really did spread out across the hallways at the middle school, and it was busy, but I don't think anyone felt like they were. And so, one of the things, you already have it. Oh, you have the hand up. So, sorry. On that, it talked about, at the top part there, that's the bingo card that they put on there, that the kids got. The part that was really great also is in the past few years, we've had approximately 120 students there. And we tried to keep track of other family members, but it was too hard. But this year with the electronic, we were able to see that we had 367 total people and 240 students. So in years past, we had around 120 students. By increasing, like, that's fantastic. And showing us that the word is getting out, that it is a beneficial event and that type of thing. But all the work that we do, we want to make sure that kids are gaining knowledge, skills, and attitudes that are going to give them, that'll increase that for them, especially in like this specific instance.
Awesome, thank you, thank you. I do think that's, I really wanted to attend that night, but I was a little late up. Everything too.
Yeah, I think either way, I mean, there's plenty of room in the courtyard. I don't know, but some people really loved it because there's stuff that they were doing, shooting rocket things around, wouldn't blow off and that type of thing. So,
And what was the food truck? I'm just curious what I missed.
there is Swannies. Yeah,
Cool, okay.
yeah, and he worked great with us, so it was fantastic.
Well, very lucky to have you. Thank you. What's your name? When you would come to the front, please.
A letter that I will read to you. And I have it. Diana, and I'm reading a letter from one of the teachers to the members of the school board. Teaching Spanish or students in dual immersion program is both a great opportunity and a privilege. It's a joy to see students engage with the language through fun, hands-on projects that allow them to explore, create, and grow. While the challenge of learning a second language can be significant, it is expected and embraced by both students and the teachers. I also take great pride in sharing and teaching the cultural aspects of the program, helping students broaden their perspectives and understanding of the world. That said, there are notable challenges that the dual immersion teachers face. Our students, like those in English, general education classrooms, need access to essential core services, language services, special education services, and reading intervention. These needs must be met equitably for the program to be truly succeed. In addition, consistent and reliable support for teachers is critical. It could be greatly appreciated if our teacher assistants could remain in the classroom as planned, rather than being frequently pulled to cover other duties. This inconsistency affects the quality of instruction and support we can provide. District support is more important now than ever. And enthusiasm for the dual immersion program as when it first began. As our students progress through the grades, there must be thoughtful planning and coordination to assure their continued success. This program should not be something that is passed along from one school or teacher to the next without clear strategic framework. We need a solid, well-developed plan, not a half-formed one, to guide the future of dual immersion. In conclusion, the Spanish dual immersion program is a true asset to our community. It's a rewarding experience to teach as part of it. I'm proud of what we have accomplished. However,
It's clear the changes are necessary to strengthen and sustain the program for the years to come. With the right support and planning, we can continue to provide our students with the high quality, enriching education they deserve.
Thank you. I just have a clarification. Are you reading that from yourself or from,
I'm reading it from one of the teachers.
and who is the teacher, please?
She told me to keep it anonymous.
Okay, thank you. We have another. Thank you. Please state your name, and I neglected to tell you that you always have 3 minutes, and so I'm sorry I didn't say that to you, but you were great.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Marco, and then I want to know why you guys don't have the football soccer on the middle school during the grades 7 and 8, because I know the city have the program, but they only come to 6th grade, I think. So then, I think it's important for the kids, because I know a middle school have a lot of sports, but now the kids like it, you know, and maybe if you guys have more options, right, the kids can play too, so. Because I have a lot of kids, so I have one 23-year-old already, and then when he's at the middle school, he don't play any sport, and you know, when they start turning a little lazy and start getting fat, so try, if you guys consider have soccer, right, this can help, and then also the kids don't have to wait 2 years until they come to the high school, and Fridays have to be there when they arrive to high school. Probably this help to be more better, you know, and around.
Thank you very much. And what I would like to ask you to do is this gentleman that's sitting over here, called Bob Sanders, as our superintendent.
Okay.
And so I'm going to refer you to him if you want to meet with him and have that discussion. I think that would be an awesome idea, and I appreciate your time being here tonight.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have, oh,
I would like to talk a little bit about soccer. We will be talking a little bit with Sander. I just would like you to know that soccer is a very good opportunity for our kids. That he said we don't have soccer, and when the kids go to high school, the problem is that they don't have experience. Maybe in the first grade they are not so good. So I was wondering if you could make a survey in middle school. A lot of kids love soccer. They have 6 sports, but they don't have soccer. So my kids, they usually do a lot of sports. Usually they have 8 meets. I was wondering maybe if they reduce, so they can use those 6 meets for soccer. If they use those 6 meets, you are not going to spend more money because all of the teams are going to have at least 7 meets. And if we have soccer in middle school, we can invite the other school to come to Fort Morgan, and we can have money with the concessions, because a lot of money is coming, and with that money we can pay the coach. I think in this town there are a lot of people, they know about soccer, so they can be really good coach. So that could help us a lot. And one more thing, we as a parents, we can, we would like our kids to do what they love. And I know a lot of kids are really good in soccer. Maybe we can have a Messi here and we are not supported. So, as a lot of kids, you know, are so sad. My kid is doing a lot of sport, but he's not doing soccer. Country, basketball, baseball, because there's no soccer. When we as a parents, we have a group of parents and we don't charge anything because we teach our kids and we have a group. We are taking them to Lily next month because we are volunteer parents. we want them to do what they love. So we are going to take 5 teams to Greeley next month because we are looking about kids doing what they love. And a lot of parents that I know, they usually travel to Greeley or to Denver. Idea to have soccer. And my son went to St. Something. Thank you.
He will be part of my 3 minutes, but go ahead, Hannah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, my name is Edgar Ramirez, and, I think we should have soccer because like, it's really not that expensive, all we need is soccer balls, and, well, that's it. And, with the concessions, like my mom said, and the other schools are like, oh, we can't have soccer because like, no schools around us, like, we don't have soccer, like Wiggins could be saying, I can't have soccer because like Fort Morgan and Brush don't have soccer. So like, you kind of need to take the first step, so like Brush and then Wiggins and then all the schools around us can have soccer. So we don't have to go to like Denver and other places like that.
Okay, I understand. That sounds great. Again, Ms. Vasquez and your son, I'm going to refer you to Mr. Sanders, and we always, the board, loves supporting our students and athletes, so have that conversation, please. Thank you. Okay. Looks like, thank you. Ms. Brown?
We had a BOCES meeting on Thursday night. They didn't have a quorum in the meeting before that, so we had lots of voting on resolutions and schedules and staff and calendars and all of that stuff. The iConnect school is having their exit interviews, I'm sorry, I lost it there. And iConnect School is having their exit interviews this week. I'm there Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday to listen in on those and kind of help the kids along. Their graduation is like double, triple what they've done in the past. Their graduation is Friday night. I'm gonna be excited about that. Reports from Mark and Maria, and that's what I got.
Any questions of Chris? Okay. To 4B, superintendent report.
So before, in there to 2025, but what I'd like to mention as part of that, we were out there, we saw what happened, and, you know, one of the things that we really pushed for graduation was to really honor our traditions. And we have a lot of traditions in schools, and our tradition here has been to have graduation on Sunday. We try to have it in the afternoon because that allows people to go to church in the morning and be able to come in the afternoon. We have always had it at Legion Field, with the exception of a few years where it's been inside. And so at Legion Field. And then the other reason for Legion Field is there's a lot of capacity there. Whereas indoors, we wouldn't have as much capacity. And so we are very sorry for the way the day turned out. However, we are very happy to provide another to any graduate who wants to come back. We think we got through most, 2/3 of our graduates having their diplomas. However, we will do that again for the remainder, or anyone who wants to come back and walk across the stage again and get an opportunity. Be with their families, get their diplomas, and so we're looking forward to that on Wednesday. And we would have made it Sunday if it wasn't for 15 minutes of a microburst. And so it's just unfortunate the way that turned out. So, any questions on that? is, I got an opportunity to tour the new concession stand and the ticket booth. They're not done yet. They are getting closer. We are within probably 3 weeks of being done. With that, we have the track going to be resurfaced the first week of June, first or second week of June, and we believe that will be pretty much the last thing, other than some warranty work, some different things like that. We have hired a guy to come in and grade the whole surface parking lot. There was just some issues there that we need to get straightened out. I think we're gonna end up going to visit the parking lot as well. And so those hopefully will be done within about 3 weeks of that. And when, I just couldn't believe the number of restrooms we're gonna have available out there. Seeing the lines that we saw out there, so it's really great to have a top of the line facility out there, and it's some logos gonna be painted on to it. And I think, there's one last thing I want to throw in here. We did our last Principal Academy of the year. Brett Miles in last week, and we had him presentation for our side and leading down, and it was very well received by our administrative team. And unfortunately, we had to reschedule 2 or 3 times because his mother passed away, and he had to miss that to come see us. So, but lots of always glad to Brad. He's been a good friend of mine. I've known his mom. So, any questions for me? If not, that's my report.
Thank you. We have Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Assessment, and Dr. Fresco is not here this evening nor has a report, so we will move on to 4D. Assistant Superintendent of HR, please.
Not a lot on my report tonight. We do have a personal action report for you guys to act on a little bit later. Just slow down a little bit on as far as active job postings. We have no administrative openings. We have 18 certified opening. Most likely that's probably around 12 after we do some contract hires that we're opening that we have openings for. So we're making good movement there. We have 10 classified openings. Again, we're holding kind of steady on those until summer to hire for next year. We have 2 coaching positions open with a number that we anticipate there. And then just our standard postings there for apprenticeship, alternative licensure, substitutes. We did have a successful negotiations session this year. We super appreciate our relationships with our ACP, our FMEA, and MESAC groups. Very easy to work with and very understanding in the situation that we're in budget-wise with the State Finance Act. So in your packets tonight for approval tonight are the MOUs. They all match each other except for the on it. Again, I think you guys are all very aware that we're doing steps and lanes. We're doing all insurance increases, longevity bonuses, all that stuff has remained the same. We just weren't able to put any salary on the base or anything more than steps and lanes at this point in time. And the other thing that's in each of those packets schedules, again, those haven't changed. Other than on the certified calendar, or certified salary schedule, we did add some clarification to our placement of staff members who are returning to the district who have in-district experience and how we recognize that. Other than that, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Chief Financial Officer, Tony, and she's not here tonight nor has a report, so we're going to move on to 5 discussion items. We have the second reading district policy revision, policy GDKA, which entails the length of support staff workday. Any discussion? Moving on, we will move on to the consent agenda. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Roll call, please. Aye.
Katie Jess.
Aye.
John Gotti.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Sarah Whitney.
Moving on to 7 action items, not 7 action items, but number 7 action items. A, MASAP memo of understanding and MASAP salary schedule for the 2025-26 school year. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Second. Roll call, please.
Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham. Nancy Hopper.
Aye.
Katie Jess. John Crowdy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Sarah Whitney.
7B, FMEA memo of understanding and FMEA salary schedule for the 2025-26 school year. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham.
Aye.
Nancy Hopper.
Aye.
Katie Jess. John Crowdy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Sarah Whitney.
7C, ACP memo of understanding and ACP salary schedule for the 2025-2026
Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham. Nancy Hopper.
Aye.
Katie Jess. John Crowdy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Sarah Whitney.
7D, professional technical salary schedule for the 2025-2026 school year. Pleasure of the board.
Second.
Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, who moved to approve that? Thank you. Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham. Nancy Hopper.
Aye.
Katie Jess. John Crowdy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Sarah Whitney.
7E, Fort Morgan High School FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, the National Leadership Conference held June 29th through July 2nd, 2025 in Anaheim, California. And if they need a supporter, I can help go with them. Pleasure of the board.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham. Nancy Hopper.
Aye.
Katie Jess. John Crowdy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Sarah Whitney.
Okay, Section 8, Advanced Planning. A, the next Board of Education meeting is June 16th. The last day of school is Thursday, May 29th. The end of the year picnic and Making a Difference award ceremony is Friday, May 30th. The first day of the 2025-2026 school year is Tuesday, August 12th. Mark that down right now. And adjourning at 7:50